Hey, this is Troy Taylor with the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast. Started a new part of the show where we're answering specific questions. So this is the second one that I've done tonight. Check out the first video. What does football mean to me? And this is episode 2. And I will be answering the best that I can. What is the key to communication? That was asked to me by my friend, another friend. I'm going to be doing 3 of them tonight, 3 different friends. So what is the key to communication? So I'm answering this as a head football coach. So first of all, let's just start with administration. Administration is so important. Support. You don't know how important it is until you don't have it. And all you have to do is ask around to some coaches in your area to see if they have support or not. I've been very, very blessed to have a tremendous amount of support in the different places that I've been a head football coach. But to have support, you got to have communication. You got to be able to talk. You have to be able to be honest. And having honest conversations, sometimes people call them hard conversations. And I mean, I don't know what a hard conversation is or an easy conversation, because sometimes you have to say things that the other person may not like, or that other person is going to have to tell you something that you don't like. You can't always tell people what they want to hear. And, you know, whether you're an administrator or you're a head football coach, you have to be honest, and you have to trust. You have to trust people, and they have to be able to trust you. So administration, you never want your administration to be blindsided by anything. So if anything ever happens and you're the head football coach, you make sure that AD and that principal know what happened. You want to tell them what happened first before it gets back, someone else's version of the story. So communication, that's administration. Let's go with parents. The coach at Powhatan, Hall of Fame coach, Coach Woodson, he always would say that playing time is not negotiable. So that means that we're not going to negotiate playing time. The kids that commit to the program, the kids that work, the kids that give it their all, they're the ones that's going to have the best opportunity to play. So most of the experiences I've had with parents, me and the parent are on the same page, and we want what's best for their son. Usually it's the kid that's not on the same page, because one, we want to help that kid change his life, make him better, because they're a part of our program. 2, we want to help them get to the next level. We have a kid going in the Army Reserves. We have another kid going into the military. We have another kid going to a trade school. We have another kid going to a 4-year school all this year. They're not all going to play for Alabama. So number 3, we want to build champions for life. So I think that if parents know what your priorities are and that you want what's best for their son, that you're on the same team. And you see your football program as a stepping stone to the next thing, because you're always going to the next thing. You're always, moving up. We tell our players, do you remember when you went to kindergarten? Most of them say yes. Okay, well, going to high school is kind of like going to kindergarten. Middle school, do you remember when you were in 6th grade? Yes. Well, you went from 5th grade to 6th grade. Okay, now you're in high school. You went from middle school to high school. When you go to college, you're just going to the next level. So, that's communicating with with parents, communicating with players. Urban Meyer said, never promise a player anything, because as soon as you promise that player something and you don't fulfill your part of the bargain, that player loses trust in you. And this has happened. Players say, "Oh, you're starting this." Coaches have told players, "Oh, you're starting this week," and the kid don't start, and you lose trust. So we communicate to our players that playing time is up to you, and that's Urban Meyer. That's coming right from the University of Florida when they recruited those great players. Playing time's up to you. If you're better than the other guy, then you need to show us. And I mean, the kids know who can play and who can't. And a lot of times as a coach, you worry about that. Who's going to play this? Who's going to play that? But that all takes care of itself. So communication with players, recruiting. Sean Sage, thank you, brother. Recruiting, we have to be honest, about recruiting. And the things we tell our players as far as recruiting is, the better your grades, the more opportunities you're going to have. So first of all, grades. Worry about things you can control. Your grades, your work ethic, and working hard and being a good kid. Those are things that you can control. You can't control how tall you're going to be. You can't control, how long your arms are. And, college coaches, they always want to find something wrong with the kid. I mean, heck, look at the NFL draft. Bryce Young, who went number 1 overall, they're saying he's not big enough. He can't throw the ball well enough. He's little. There's no such thing as a perfect football player. So just make sure that you got all the boxes checked on the things you can control. So communication with players, what's the expectations? The expectations in our program is that you're there 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday after school. If you're not playing another sport for LC Bird. In the summer, we go in the mornings, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 to 10:30. So if you work, work in the afternoons, and, and we try not to change. So kids know what to expect. All right. So communication, we have a year-round calendar. It's on our website. We communicate through Twitter. We communicate through Instagram. People got to know when they have to be there, what time they need to be there. Because, families go on vacation, kids got stuff they got to do, jobs. So, communication with that, the media. Communication with the media. I learned this from Coach Ramsire, my college coach. Man, we didn't practice this too much when I was a player. You always are complimentary of your opponents. You're always complimentary of your teammates or your other coaches. If you're talking to the media, you're always complimentary of your coaches. Yeah. So if you're a player, you're complimentary of, in the media, your opponents, your teammates, and your coaches. The same way with the coach. You never want to say anything bad about another team. So in the media, we have an open door policy. You don't want the media hating you as a coach, because, a lot of times whoever controls the media controls the narrative. And, the media's gotten coaches fired before. So, be honest. But, be complimentary of people. Coach Lunsford, my great friend. I learned a lot of this from him. Boosters. One thing I learned is people don't give money without expecting something in return 99% of the time. Guys who are boosters, they want to be on the sideline. Guys that are boosters, they want something named after them. So, when communicating with boosters, understand that nothing in life is free. So communication, you have to be able to talk. And I don't like email. I don't like text messages. I like to talk face to face. I like to talk on the phone. I like for people to be able to hear my voice when I talk. because I mean, stuff can be, misunderstood through text message or through email. So that's communication. And man, I talked for 10 minutes. I was probably rambling on. Our sponsors, First Down Playbook, Rack Coach, Tip of the Spear, the Top Hopper, Sports Workbook, You're the Best. So that's my little rant on what is the key to communication.